Children, it is a continuation of the chapter electricity. Now let us discuss about the electrical resistance of a conductor. You know that the flow of current is not same for all components. The current is different for different components. You know that certain components offer an easy path for the flow of electric current without any resistance, and some other components offer resistance to flow of current. We know that motion of electrons in an electric circuit constitutes an electric current. The electrons, however, are not completely free to move within conductor. They are not free to move within the conductor, and there is a restriction for the flow of electron through the conductor. Because you know that the flow of electrons are restrained by the attraction of the atoms among which they move. Thus, motion of electrons through a conductor is retarded by its resistance. So, here there is a obstruction to the flow of the electrons. So, there is a obstruction to the flow of current. Thus, a component of a given size that offers a low resistance or more resistance, then you can classify them as a good conductor, resistor, poor conductor, insulators, because the flow of current is different for different components. Depending upon the flow of current through the components, we can classify them as good conductor, resistor, poor conductor, insulator, like this way. So what are good conductor? A component of given size which offer low resistance and allows the current to pass through it easily is called good conductor. Means the conductor through which the electric current pass through easily is called good conductor. Means the good conductor offer very low resistance. Examples of good conductors are copper, silver, aluminium, etc. Cu, Ag, Al, etc. And resistor. A conductor having appreciable resistance to the flow of electric current is called resistor. They offer resistance to the flow of electric current in the appreciable manner. So they are called resistor. Next, poor conductor. They offer higher resistance to the flow of electric current. So what are poor conductor? Substance which offer higher resistance is called poor conductor. And insulators. They are the substance which offer infinitely high resistance. A substance that has infinitely high resistance does not allow electric current to flow through it, and it is called insulator. Insulator offer infinitely high resistance and they does not allow electric current to pass through it. Examples are rubber, glass, plastic, ebonite, etc. Let us discuss about the factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends. So, you do one activity here. Complete an electric circuit consisting of a cell, an emitter, a nichrome wire of length L as shown in the figure. Here there is a nichrome wire and here it is a plug key, here it is a cell, here it is a emitter. And now plug the key, insert the key and note the current in the emitter. That is the first step here. Here you connected the nichrome wire here and observe the flow of current through the circuit by inserting the plug key. After that, in the place of nichrome wire, you take the same nichrome wire only but of double length here. Replace this nichrome wire and take the nichrome wire of double length, and again you complete the circuit by inserting the key and note down the reading in the ammeter. And here what you can observe, in the first case you noted the electric current through the ammeter, and also here noted the electric current through the ammeter. In this case, the length of the nichrome wire is doubled, and you may observe that the ammeter reading decreases to half. Ammeter reading decreases to 1/2, and you can conclude here the length of the wire is doubled. In both the cases, nichrome wires are used, and in the second case, the length of the nichrome wire is doubled and the amount of current flowing through the circuit is decreased to 1/2 of the previous case. That is the observation done here. Next you come to the third step, that is the third case. You replace the nichrome wire by the thicker nichrome wire. Here replace the wire by a thicker nichrome wire of the same length. The length is same here, but the thickness is increased, and you complete the circuit by inserting the tab key and also note down the reading in the ammeter. So what is the observation that you can do here? The ammeter reading is increased when the thicker wire of the same material and of the same length is used in the circuit. Here what is the changes you made here in the circuit? You used the nichrome wire of same length, but the thickness is increased. In this case, what is the observation? The ammeter reading is increased when the thicker wire of the same material and of the same length is used in the circuit. As the thickness of the wire increases, current flowing through the circuit also increases. Now you come to the fourth step, fourth case. Instead of taking nichrome wire, connect a copper wire as shown in the figure, and the length of the wire is same and area of cross section is also same. Only the change is here, the material is changed. Instead of nichrome wire, you use copper wire of the same length and same area of cross section, and complete the circuit by inserting the plug key and also note down the reading in the ammeter. And you may observe that here the current flowing through the circuit is changed here. Here ammeter reading changes when a wire of different material of the same length and same thickness is used. In this circuit, we used copper wire instead of nichrome wire. It means the material is changed here. The length and thickness are not changed, only the material is changed, and also there is a change in the ammeter reading. So as the material changes, there is a change in the electric current flowing through the circuit. So with the help of all these stages, what you can observe here? You can observe that current depends upon the length of the conductor. Current also depends upon the area of cross section of the wire used, and also it depends upon the material used. Depends upon the material used. So you can conclude that by applying the Ohm's law in all the cases, resistance of a conductor depends upon the length of the conductor, area of the cross section of the conductor, and the nature of the material of the conductor. These are the three things on which the resistance of a conductor depends. The resistance of a uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor and inversely proportional to the area of cross section of the conductor. So that is R is proportional to L, R is inversely proportional to A. That is R is proportional to 1 by A. Means resistance of uniform metallic conductor is directly proportional to length of the conductor. That is R is proportional to L. Inversely proportional to the area of cross section A of the conductor. That is R is proportional to 1 by A. So by combining the two, you can say that R is proportional to L by A. R is proportional to L by A. So here we have to take the proportionality constant. So here R is equals to proportionality constant into L by A. And here this is the proportionality constant which is read as RHO, that is rho. That is the proportionality constant, and therefore we can conclude that resistivity is a characteristic property of the material, and the SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. That is ohm meter. Resistivity can be measured in terms of ohm meter. We know that metals are good conductors of electricity, and alloys which are made up of many metals, they are also good conductors of electricity, and they are having very low resistivity in the range of 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm to 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm. And already you know that good conductors are having low resistivity, and metals and alloys are good conductors, and their resistivity range is from 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm to 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm. Resistivity of the insulators are very high, that you know. As they are insulators, they offer maximum resistance, and they are having high resistivity in the range of the order of 10 to the power of 12 ohm to 10 to the power of 17 ohm. Observe the table containing electrical resistivity of some substances at 20 degree centigrade. The conductors: silver, copper, aluminium, tungsten, nickel, iron, chromium, mercury, manganese. These are the metals which are the good conductors of electric current. Here their resistivity is given in terms of ohm meter. Silver, its resistivity is 1.60 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Copper, its resistivity is 1.62 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Aluminium, 2.63 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Tungsten, 5.20 into 10 to the power of minus 8 meter. Nickel, 6.84 into 10 to the power of minus 8 meter. Iron, 10 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Chromium, 12.9 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Mercury, 94 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Manganese, 1.84 into 10 to the power of minus 6. These are the electrical resistivity of some metals. And the next, alloys. First alloy is constantan, that is an alloy of copper and nickel. Its electrical resistivity is 49 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. The second alloy is manganene, that is an alloy of copper, manganese and nickel. Its resistivity is 44 into 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm. Next, nichrome, which is an alloy of nickel, chromium, manganese and iron, that is 100 into 10 to the power of minus 6. And next, insulators, which will not allow the electric current to pass through it. First one is glass. Its resistivity range is 10 to the power of 10 to 10 to the power of 14 ohm. Hard rubber, its resistivity is 10 to the power of 13 ohm to 10 to the power of 16 ohm. Ebonite, its resistivity is 10 to the power of 15 ohm to 10 to the power of 17 ohm. And diamond, its resistivity is 10 to the power of 12 ohm to 10 to the power of 13 ohm. And paper, that is a dry paper, its resistivity is 10 to the power of 12 ohm.